And happy Friday. Thank you for being here. This is our weekly KW Technology Community webinar. My name is Brenda Harrelson, and let's look at our agenda for today. And thank you for the confirmation on the audio. Always appreciate it. So it is May 20th. Wow. So here's what we've got going on. You're going to see each week we'll give you an update on the rollout of KW websites, which continues to go. And we'll talk a little bit about lead routing, specifically how leads go from your KW website into eEdge. Unfortunately, it's becoming a weekly topic, but we have a phishing scam of the week to share with you all and talk a little bit about how to prevent those. We have some event dates for MYKW 2016, including the special session for all of you, tech ambassadors and MC techs. And then we'll wrap up as usual with what's coming up on our webinar schedule. So here we go. Let's start off, as I said, with an update on the KW website's rollout. So as we stand this week, we are wrapping up the launch of Group 4. And again, the groups are based on your MLS, and each MLS is rolling out a week at a time, or groups of MLSs are rolling out a week at a time. And so this week we finished up Group 4, and next week and the following 4 weeks we will finish the remaining groups. That last group there might take a couple of weeks. Those MLSs might need a little bit more work to get set up, but once we do, they will all be up and running. So that's what the schedule looks like. And what I'd like to know is if your MLS was in groups 1 through 4, raise your hand. I just want to know how many people on the call have most of their market center at least ready to activate their websites. All right, seeing a bunch of hands. From adoption numbers, we're still seeing that not everybody who has the ability to launch a website has done it. So I just want to take a minute to give all of you an opportunity to type in why that might be. Just let me know, are agents in your market center excited to launch their websites? Are they hesitating? If so, what's the hesitation? Just kind of want to get a pulse on how the rollout's going in your market center if your MLS has launched yet. Okay, so some are hesitating because they want to set it up first. Some are so busy they can't pay attention to it, learning curve. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of things that might be roadblocks, the most common ones anyway. So this is best case scenario. This is what should happen is when an MLS is launched, then every agent in that MLS, as long as everything is set up for that agent correctly, should see the KW websites menu on the technology dropdown. Clicking on that will take them to a page that you see pictured on the right, which is a page on MYKW that says introducing your new KW agent website. Once you go to that page, everybody should have access to this page. Somebody asked, what is the rollout schedule? That's where you can find the link to the rollout schedule, which I've just highlighted. And then the important thing is down at the bottom of the screen, there should be a red button that says, go to my website. Your website is ready. If you have agents in your market center whose screen looks like the one on the left, and your MLS is definitely rolled out, but you still have agents that don't have that red button, the most common reasons we're finding out why this is happening is because one or both of these items on the right hasn't been taken care of. The first one is that the agent's MLS ID number, there's a field for that in each agent's white pages profile that's typically completed by the MCA. If that is empty, that will prevent a website from being provisioned for an agent. So that MLS ID number needs to be filled in, and that's something definitely that your MCA should be able to help with. The other is that all agents are going to have to activate their KW.com email account, get a KW.com email account. that's another thing that's going to be checked for before their website is provisioned. So those are the top 2 reasons why people's go to my website button isn't showing up, because 1 or 2 of those things hasn't been done. Once they're taken care of, then that agent would be included in the next batch of websites to roll out. If you're still having trouble, you've checked MLS IDs and email addresses, the MLS has rolled out. There are 2 support options to get in touch with somebody right away. One is just calling our support line. Just go right to option 4, and that will connect you to a dedicated professional to talk to you about your KW website powered by Playster, or support-kw@playster.com will also get you in touch with dedicated support professionals who are going to specifically help you with your KW website. We also have, for those of you who said that training or wanting to get it all set up is a stumbling block, I know we've mentioned this before, and I just want everybody to at least take a look and see if this will help you, but we've put together this Getting Started workshop and put it into KW Connect for exactly that reason. So for those who are hesitating and putting it off, if you can set up a class in your Market Center, we estimate this will take 3 hours, and have everybody come on in and sit down, bring their laptops, and just go from 0 to 60 in a 3-hour setting, all in one class. Just log in for the first time, do the initial setup, launch the site so that Google can start to crawl and index all the pages, then come back and make a plan to add more content later. That is the launch, the setup plan that we're recommending, and that is how the workshop's been built. One thing about the workshop is the file names that we had available to download were not so intuitive. So we've fixed those, and I'm going to bring up that page live and show you how it's looking now. So to find this workshop, see that I'm in KW Connect. Up in the search field, you can just type in KW website workshop. Let's try that again. Getting Started workshop. So here you have all the course details, and then the important thing here is on the course materials link. So for students, we have a participant worksheet. This is something that you can send out to them before the workshop that they fill in. It'll make the workshop go more quickly. Things that they're going to need to be able to set up their website would be their KW website, username and password. Actually, we created this before the single sign-on solution was put into place, so that's not so urgent anymore. What's the URL of their new website? Because they can add their social media icons to their website, it would be good to come prepared with all of those URLs. If agents come knowing what their mobile app download URL is, that's something we recommend adding to your menu in your KW website, a link to that page. And then they can do some pre-work and find out what their tracking ID number is for Google tracking if they want to use that and Google Analytics. And then it also has a place for them to make notes during the workshop, such as what examples of other websites did you view. Part of the workshop is that you'll, as an instructor, bring up a few different examples so agents can see that they don't all have to look the same. And then agents walk out of the workshop listing what are their action steps for further enhancing their website and keeping their content current and when. So that's the first link under student files. We'd also like to know what you think of these admin page maps and site setting maps. So we just tried to take all of the different fields and links on the site setting screen and give you a quick definition of what each one of those is. So that's just a little reference guide for students to take away. So admin page map, site settings map, those both look similar. And then the facilitator guide, this is where we've scripted out for you, just really word by word, how you would facilitate this class. And again, we really would love to hear your feedback on this. This is very new. We put this together during the early adopter phase, so now that we've had several groups roll out, we want to just see road test this and then make enhancements based on all of your feedback. But again, you'll see the way that we're taking people through setting up their website are with these different activities. So the first activity is just discover what the website does, spark excitement and creativity around websites. This is where you, again, would want to find some examples of great websites out there, either that people in your market center have done or through the Facebook group, and show those off. The second thing you're going to have your participants do is just log in and get comfortable with the admin tool. So that's just the layout of the website administration tool, just so they get used to where to go to find different settings. The next thing that we do is make sure that their listing settings are set the way that they want them to display. Then site design settings, preview your site. At this point, the site could be launched, and then we give participants a preview on how to add content, and then finally how to maximize their site's performance. But 6 and 7, these are going to be areas where your participants will walk away from the workshop having a plan in place to, on a regular basis add content. But at least they'll have a preview of how to do it. And again, the beauty of the KW websites is that built into the tool itself is so much help right there on every screen. So that's the facilitator guide. Finally, we gave you a facilitator preparation checklist. So this is just to help you get ready. We tried to think of everything that might possibly go wrong or that you might need to have ready before the class. So it's everything from making sure that you have your own website set up or you have one to demonstrate. Make a note of anything that you found to be a stumbling block when you set up your website so that you're ready if anybody else has questions. Use that introductory email. I'll show you that. We give you a template that you can send out as an email before the workshop to get people excited, invite them, and get them prepared. Everything from whether you want to give out little gifts if they participate in the workshop that can boost participation, making sure you have enough power in the room, how to set up the room, all of that is included in your checklist. And then finally, as I said, this introduction message to participants, something that you could copy, paste into an email, edit if you want to, but just something that you can use to get people set up and registered for the website, for the workshop. Okay, so that is all available there for you, again, on the KW website's Getting Started Workshop page in KW Connect. Okay, yeah, and so as I'm talking, now I'm looking back at my questions. I see lots of questions coming in. I would actually prefer if you would email, I'm going to type in ambassadors@kw.com. That is where we check email from this community, Kevin and I pretty much do. So if you have feedback about the workshop, please send it to ambassadors@kw.com. Just say you've got feedback about the KW website's Getting Started Workshop, and then we can consider all of that as we revise it. It already needs to be revised a little bit based on what's changed slightly since the early adopter phase. All right. So let's get back on track here. And next thing we're going to talk about is KW websites and lead routing, specifically getting leads into eEdge. So there's a lead insert API that works between KW websites powered by Playster and eEdge. You want to make sure that you have your eEdge email entered on this screen. So when you're in your KW website's admin screen, this is under, let me highlight it, More, Lead Capture, and then under Lead Forwarding, you're going to put your eEdge email address there. And then the lead would complete a form such as this, Brenda Beyer. And then this is actually Kevin's eEdge site. I just registered on his KW website. So in Kevin's eEdge email box, he'll first see that he got a new user alert, new user registration. Opening it up, there's all of my information that I provided when I was on his site. And then I'm also added as a new contact in his eEdge database as well. Leads that come in through your KW website are going to have source codes in eEdge that look something like this. They're all going to start with KW website -residential, and then it'll give you the specific page on which that person registered. So you're going to start to see these types of lead source codes now showing up on your top lead sources reports. So now there's a way to track how well your lead capture efforts are going with your KW website. Yes, so again, for that to work, you do need to put in your eEdge email. That would be your kwrealty.com email address here. And it will not only send you an email notification, it will also create the contact in your eEdge database, and it will have a lead source of KW website dash whatever page they were on. So that is good news there. All right, so it's time for, hopefully this won't be a regular topic, but it might need to for a little bit, the phishing scam of the week. Has anyone seen this one yet? It's supposedly from Wells Fargo. This is a new one, started showing up yesterday. We got a lot of calls into support about this one. Notice that this is a screenshot of, I got this message. I opened it in my KW.com account through Gmail. And because I did that, Google has already, they're already onto this, so they know that this could be spam. So I got that big message right at the top. That was a big clue. But even if without that, let's see if we can identify some of the things that are wrong with this message, which might make it stand out to you as not real. Okay, the BCC, yep. I'm blind copied, it's not right to me. The logo, Who's it from? Look at the from line. It's from Wells Fargo Online, and that email address is, davosani@kw.com. And then we've got, some other things. If you really took the time to read the text, it really isn't written well. And if you were to hover over this link, don't click it, but if you hover over it, it's Wells Fargo, and instead of an O, it's a 0. And it's a very long URL. So several clues in here that is not a legitimate email from Wells Fargo. And again, by now you should know anything coming to you from your bank is never going to ask you to log in like this and provide information from an email. So again, this is just another opportunity to make sure that your associates are aware of the benefits of the two-step verification process that Google provides. So again, what this is going to do is boost up the security of everybody's email account. You enter in your password and you're done. That's the old way of verification. Now, what's going to happen is when you sign into Google, you enter your password and then you have to verify it because it's going to send a verification code to another device. So that two-step verification really does make a difference. And so we would ask that you go to answers.kw.com, do a search for this article, set up two-step verification for your kw.com account. Just search for two-step verification and you will find it. And this gives you the step-by-step instructions that you can share with everyone in your market center on how to turn that on. All right. So as I promised, we have some dates for you. Mega Camp, hard to believe it is not that far away. So no exact times quite yet, but this is 90% what it's going to look like that week. So we're kicking off Tuesday, August 9th. That is a day for leadership. When some of you may be arriving would be on August 10th, that's Wednesday. The morning is going to be devoted to Tech and Leadership Masterminds, and then Wednesday afternoon is Mega Tech. Then on Thursday, August 11th, that's when we have our MC Tech Ambassador session. That'll be sometime in the morning, sometime before lunch, and then after lunch will be Mega Agent, and that will continue on Friday morning. And then Friday afternoon will be Agent Masterminds. So by a show of hands, who at this point thinks they are going to be there, especially for the MC Tech Ambassador session at Mega Camp? Cool, see some hands. All right, well now you know the date. You can start making your travel plans, and I hope more of you will be there. All right, so finally, a few of you were asking to go back and show where I found that workshop. I will, for those of you who came in late. For those of you who were here, I'm just going to wrap up by showing you what's coming up next week in the way of training. On Monday the 23rd, we have our final Monday webinar of the month. The fourth Monday of each month, when we have a fourth Monday, we focus on leading edge technology strategies, where we focus on somebody out in the field who's doing a great job. And this month we feature Laura Briggs. She's an agent from Arizona, and she's going to show her KW website, how she designed and added unique content to it without being a webmaster. So all on her own, what she was able to do. It's very doable, and she's going to prove that to you. So this is the calendar as you see it in KWU Connect. When you are showing the KWRI team events, you will see that you can register for the webinar right there on Monday, May 23rd at 2:00 p.m. That's Central Time. That will adjust to your time zone. Okay, and for our fun slide for the end of the day, I know you probably know who this is. Yes, and someone caught my typo on the previous slide. Thank you, Ed. Keeping you on your toes. All right, so everybody knows who this is, right? Who's this? Yes. What was the year on this date? What year did he first take off on this day in the morning for the first nonstop transatlantic flight? It is Charles Lindbergh. What year was it? 1927. Yeah. Yep. Before I was born. Yes, I think before all of us were born. So there is your fun fact. There he is with his Spirit of St. Louis. And he crossed the Atlantic for Paris, the first nonstop flight transatlantic. Pretty cool. Okay. Well, that's what I've got for you this week. If you want to jump off early, feel free to do so. I will go back and look through the questions. If there's anything I can answer immediately, I will. And otherwise, I will compile answers offline and we'll get them to you in some form or fashion as soon as we can. So have a great day and a great weekend. And again, if you've asked a question, haven't gotten an answer, just stick around and I will go through them in the order they were received. Thanks, everybody.